Santa gave me a present this year. It is a CGC box. CGC unboxing. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, just a word of warning. Recently, there has been a spammer who's been trying to get people to respond through the comments on my videos using the picture from my homepage on Bronzeville Comics, using my icon. And if you get a message that says, text me on Telegram, that is not me. Somebody who's trying to ask you for money to ship a prize to you. I will never ask for money. That's not me. It's hit some other big comic book channels lately. I guess I'm the latest victim. So just beware of that. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. If you have any questions about anything, my email's in the description. Just ask me. Say, is this really you? Because I know I had gotten one of those on a Comic Tom video I had responded to, and I was like, wait, this doesn't seem right. Sure enough, it wasn't. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on the other socials, Instagram at Bronzeville_comics. We are on Whatnot, also at Bronzeville_comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And this coming Monday, which will be tomorrow, we're going to be doing a slab sale. It's potential that we may unbox a couple of books that will be available in the slab sale, but give us a follow, bookmark the show, check out what's in the store. And it's going to be all slabs available for sale on Whatnot Monday, the 26th of December at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, there's a link in the description. If you're not yet on Whatnot, you can use that link to get $10 off your first purchase anywhere on Whatnot, not just with me. And also, I mentioned my emails in there and a link to my eBay store. So, Merry Christmas. I got a Christmas present this year. It's a Christmas miracle. I have been waiting for these books forever. I have here, let me pull my chair over. I have a CGC unboxing to go through. Right? We showed that under the Christmas tree at the beginning of the video. And I have not had these books in hand since July of 2021. That's how long they've been out. So the values have plummeted. But these are books I'm really excited to get back. And most of them are for the PC. But we will talk about the values of them. I have no idea what the grades are. I'm not even sure of all the books that are in here. I've been trying to come up with a list. I think there are 11 books. So just to quickly tell you the story. It sent 25 books to Erod back in July 2021 to Clean and Press. I didn't know him at the time, so just kind of blind sent it to him. Had heard positive things, had talked to a couple people that had used him and vouched for him, and I sent him 25 books. It ended up that not really being that familiar with the CGC process, he submitted them for me, and then it ended up that 14 of the books went into the modern submission, and 11 books went into economy. The modern books. And so he finished them up. He contacted me on New Year's Day of 2022, and then he mailed them out to CGC on January 2nd. These books, I got the modern books back, I believe it was in March that I got the 14 modern books back, and these 11 economy books have been sitting there forever. And I know people have been waiting over a year for books just to get graded. These were just sitting at CGC in the grading process since the beginning of January. So now about 12 and a half months later, I finally have them back in my possession. These are all Bronze Age keys, some big books in here, some really nice books, some books I'm really looking forward to digging into. And as I said, a lot of these are for the personal collection. I picked them up at the beginning, mostly in the spring and into the summer of 2021. So I have no idea what the grades are. I don't even have, like I've done with my more recent submissions, I've looked at the books closely, I've predicted the grades, tried to estimate. I don't know what I got. I don't know. You know, some of them looked high grade, but again, my eye back then wasn't as trained as it is now. So I'm going to break into this box, and we'll see what we've gotten. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this because I know there are some real goodies in here, and you know, some books we've seen on hot lists, and just some classics. So again, I don't know what the grades are, so we have this on top. So I'm just going to start. Where am I starting? I'm not looking. Again, I don't know what the grades are. I'll just pull the books out randomly. Let me just take a look. Okay, there, we'll start here. Oh, they're packed pretty tightly. So, and it's funny. These books have the old flimsier plastic bags. I think yeah, these are the old flimsier ones. And there's this is the invoice. So we'll put the invoice there. Now I see which books. Okay, that, two of those, and one of those. Okay, so not a huge surprise. All of these books, there's one from 1976, and the rest are between 70 and 73. A lot from my 1972 collection. So my first book here is Werewolf by Night #1. All right, yeah. So let me see. Looks got pretty good copy. Again, I'm not sure of what the grades I thought were going to be on this. I thought this was pretty high grade. I think I bought this off of eBay. So let's take a look at the grade together. 8.5. Off-white to white pages. Very nice. And 8.5. Werewolf by Night #1. That's going to be a good book. Right? Very happy with that. And look at the back cover, is really sharp. Pretty white back cover. Right? The only real issue is, you know, up by his foot there. But that came out very nice. So that is a really good start. Werewolf by Night #1 in an 8.5. Okay, we'll look up. I'll post the FMVs here when I go through the editing process, and then we'll see. We'll talk about that at the end. But you'll see what the FMV is before I do. So, okay, next up, what do we got next? Continuing the horror genre, Tomb of Dracula #1. I actually have two of these in this order. Okay? There is some discoloration below his face there. Again, I bought this off of eBay based on the prices that I would have paid in 2021 and what their value might be right now. I might be a little disappointed, but we're going to take a look, and we're going to see that this one came back as a 6.0, off-white to white pages. Okay, so I have to look and see how much I paid for this. I could probably look that up because I know I bought 2 copies of this. And then we'll talk about that the case looks pretty nice. Fortunately, I store in CLZ all my purchases, or most of them. Sometimes I forget. You know, it takes a while to Werewolf by Night. No, Tomb of Dracula. So I don't know what the fair market value is, but I have a feeling that this might be a little bit of a hurdy. Yeah, I had this as a 6.0, and I paid $237.98 for this. So we'll see how that holds up. Right, $238 is what I paid. You know, got it cleaned and pressed. So I thought it was actually, that's what I have in CLZ as a 6.0. I have the other one as a 7.0. We'll see how that came. So the 6.0 is not a disappointment because it's about what I thought it was. You know, we'll see if Tomb of Dracula, if we get any Dracula news in the MCU. I'm not sure. Oh, Swamp Thing #1. Okay. This, I've had a couple of copies of this. This one looks, the back looks real clean. I have had a couple of copies of this. I actually got one copy. I don't think this is the copy. Let me take a look at Swamp Thing. What did I purchase that for? I paid $130 for this. I do have another one that might not be as high condition, but I got that for like $20 at the first King Con. So, oh, the screen's going into sleep mode. There we go. So, Swamp Thing #1. Beautiful purple cover there. And this came back as a 7.0. Right? I added a 7.5, so 7.0. That's about what I figured. I would like, this is going in the PC. It is a white pager. I would like to get this in a little bit higher grade. This was, I had bought a bunch of books from the same seller. Some of those were submitted directly to CGC. This is a nice looking book. It does have spine wear. Yeah, it has a little bit down in the corner there. That's probably what is mostly limiting it. Just some overall wear. Okay, but that's part of my 1972 collection. If I can upgrade that at some point, that would be great. But it's nice to have it in the PC for now. Let's see what we got next. This other Tomb of Dracula. This, I think, was the higher grade one. It doesn't have that stain below his face. I think that's probably what limited that one. I had it as 7.0, and I think I had just looked at it. I paid more for that one. I think I paid over $300 for this one. So based on today's prices, I may... But again, one of these is going in the PC, the higher graded one. The other, I will be willing to move. I paid $361 for this one. So I need a nice grade to break even on this one. If it does come back better than a 6.0, this is the one that's going to stay in the PC, though. Okay, so it is kind of a long-term investment. So that is a nice, Neil Adams cover. There's going to be a lot of Neil Adams in this submission. And this came back as a... Oh, my gosh! Holy moly! A 9.4. I think I did well on this one. This one's the one that's staying in the PC. Oh, my gosh. Cream to off-white pages, but I'll take that if I'm getting a... Wow. Wow. That I am really, really happy with. That causes... Yeah. We gotta celebrate that one. Oh, man. Oh, man. Man. So the 6.0 is definitely going to move. Don't need that one. I'm going to keep this gorgeous. Oh, 9.4. Oh, thank you, Santa. Thank you so much. That is amazing. 9.4. Gorgeous. So I think that's going to be a profit over the $360 I spent for it. Nice. Oh, yes. That's a big win. That's a big win. In the Werewolf by Night 8.5. That's a PC book, too. Those are both... I'm collecting all the keys, Marvel keys from 72, and there should be one more in here from that attempt to complete. I just don't have Marvel Spotlight 5 yet. Woo, that was great. Okay, what's next? Marvel Spotlight 4. This is a book that had more behind it when it first came out, because it's the first appearance or first mention of the Darkhold. It's the third Werewolf by Night. I probably spent too much on this one. I do think I have a couple of copies of this. I do have another copy, I think, around somewhere. The higher grade copy, I thought... Let's see if that's the one... I don't have the date I bought it. I did spend $225 for this, but I thought it was really high grade. There's a mid-grader that I bought for $5. So I'm thinking, hopefully this is the higher grade one. We'll see how high it comes back. I think that's a Mike Plug cover. Yeah. It's definitely Mike Plug. Marvel Spotlight 4. I thought when I first got this that it was fairly high grade. And it did come back as a 9.2. Very nice. Very nice. The page quality is off white to white. But that is... I do have to admit, I was buying some high-quality books. Erod obviously did a great job on these. Yeah, 9.2. That is pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be let's see. This is Spotlight 4. 9.2. I'm just making my notes so I can look up the FMV, and I did. This one, this is not the one I bought for $5. $225. I'm not sure how much profit I'm pulling out of that, but it is a 72 book that's staying in the collection. I'm trying to collect all the DC comics from 1972 and trying to get all of the Marvel keys. So I looked at the top 10 most expensive books, and I kind of targeted those, but that fluctuates over time. That book might not be amongst the most expensive anymore. Okay, let's see what's next. Now, some of these will be easier to figure out the values because I bought them as part of collections. This I know. Oh, crap! Oh, that's a dump in the pants. Oh, man. What is it? Restored. Small amount of color touch on cover. Where would it be? Some video game related trauma in my house. Oh. I mean, it's obvious. It's easy to color touch on a... darn it. I thought this was like... I remember this. I bought this from Street Side Anthony. It's one of the first big purchases I made from him. And it was like $500. And it's 6.5. Ouch. I mean, figured with the color touch, I thought it looked nicer than a 6.5. That is... Oh. I don't know what got color touched. So I'm looking at this. I'm a little bit mystified. I did not pick up any color touch when I looked at this, when I bought it. I'm going to keep this in the PC. I thought this had a chance to be like about a 7.5 or 8. So this is going to be a loss. But that's sometimes the game that you play. That is restoration. Purple label's always disappointing. So no bueno on that one. You win some, you lose some. Okay. Up next. What do we have next? Let me just say here. Yeah. I did not see any grades. I think the rest of these came as parts of collection, except this one. This one is a funny story. Green Lantern 87, the first appearance of John Stewart. I thought this was pretty darn clean. And the story behind this, I had taken my kids to a show in New Jersey. And we had bought some books. I bought them some pops or whatever, and we were kind of looking around. And my daughter, I was just looking at the wall books just to be like, oh, I picked that up in a collection recently, and that one, and that one, and that one. My daughter goes, oh, look, it's the first John Stewart. So it looked really clean, and I was on a John Stewart kick back then. This does look really nice. So, yeah, let's just see what the grade is on this one. I think I have a bunch of these. I have two 8.5s currently. I would love an upgrade in the PC. 8.0. No, not an upgrade. Not an upgrade. So that's, you know, I want to look at the grader's notes on this one. 8.0 is not a bad grade for this book. But I'm trying to get it past an 8.5. And I thought that maybe has a little stain up there. I want to take a look at the grader's notes on this. Oh, and it does have a rip down by his knee. I think that's what really holds it back. So, yep. Probably didn't. So that is 6.0 restored and an 8.0 on the GL. I think I'm still doing okay on that Green Lantern. You know, it's still going to be a big-time book no matter what. Up next, I think the rest of the books are all from collections, so I don't have to really look at any values. Yeah, this came from a collection I bought back last spring. Daredevil 131. I thought this was a pretty sharp copy, as I recall. This first appearance of Bullseye. So I can't say, you know, exactly how much I spent on this because I don't know. It's part of a collection. So let's take a look at the grade. 7.5. Meh. That's okay. And there's a crack. No, that's not a crack in the case. I'm sorry. That's just the inner well being held in. 7.5. Wonder what held it back. It actually looks pretty sharp to me. I think there's some spine stress lines on the cover that almost look like they could be part of the artwork. But they're not. But it would take more than that to get it down to a 7.5. And I'll look at the grader's notes on this one as well. Again, I think it looks pretty solid. Pretty solid looking copy. A little disappointed in that grade. So, I think all the rest come from the same title. All of these I picked up as a big collection. Yep. Batman 244, this classic Neil Adams cover. This is part of my 1972 DC collection. And also, you know, I've been picking up Batman. Period, end of story. I have all the issues into the one from like 140s forward. And what's interesting about this cover, just in terms of its the trivia about it is that, you know, Ra's al Ghul is holding Batman's costume, but yet Batman still has pants on. So, like, did he have, like, extra pants? You know, like he had like his bat long johns on, like he was ready to fight Mr. Freeze. But he's that would get hot if you're in the desert there. So anyway, this book, this is 244, and it came back as a 7.5, off white to white. Okay. We'll take that. Again, I got this as part of a collection, so I'm not really into these for any specific amount of money. This one looks really sharp also. Like the spine looks really clean. Again, I didn't really investigate these books before I sent them in. Maybe tanning. I do want to... We'll take a deep dive into Grader's notes in the second half of this video. Now we're all Batman all the time, I think, the rest of the submission. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't realize this was in there. Daredevil 105. This is the first Moondragon's Moondragon. I thought this was really high grade. I had gotten this, I think, as part of a collection. I don't think I bought it individually, but let me just double check. I thought it was like an 8.5, and I bought it for $81. So I think if it comes back better than that, we're doing well. And if Moondragon appears at some point, we'll be doing quite well. So she had been Madame McEvil previously in Iron Man 54, I believe. This is the first time we see her as Moondragon. She, in the comics, is the daughter of Drax, and it is a 9.0, off white to white. So that's right around where I thought we would be. 9.0. That's very nice. I thought it was a sharp copy. I thought maybe a little better than that, but again, my eye is a little bit untrained at the time. So that's a 7.5. So I'm just trying to organize these. We have a few more books left. Let's take a look at these. These all came out of a collection, a big Batman collection. Here we have Batman 251. I have no idea. I have no idea what the grade is. I don't remember examining that closely. I did get back to 6.0. Kind of cursorily looks a little bit better than that. I don't see any... Oh, there is a fold in the back. Eesh. Other than that, it looks... We'll see. Okay, so that's going to hold it down. 6.0. Ooh, I didn't think... I have another 6.0. So I have two 6.0s of this. What I think hurts it is that crease back there. So I think this presents better than the other copy I have. So this will probably be my keeper. I think the other one also is a 6.0. Love to upgrade that, but that's a big time. That's a big boy book. Another Batman, 234. This is the first modern appearance of Two-Face. This I thought was particularly sharp. There is a little tear, maybe a 1/4 inch tear in the back cover. That's probably the biggest flaw in the book, I think, as I recall. Two-Face had not appeared since the Golden Age. He didn't appear for real in the Silver Age, and then finally, again, this Neil Adams cover. It's kind of classic. And this is this came back as a 6.5. Oh, I thought that was better than that. I'm going to have to take a look at these Grader's notes. Other than a couple of those early books, the Dracula and the Werewolf book, I didn't know what to expect. But I see a little thing up there. But that looks, I mean, this is a really nice 6.5. Again, I'm a bit disappointed in these grades, to be honest with you. I am interested in the Grader's notes. I think there are 2 books left. Working on Batman. They're both Batmans. Both bronze Batmans. This one. Ooh. This doesn't look like it's the highest of grades. I see some issues up at the top there, obviously. But this is a very popular book. A Neil Adams cover. This is 227. This classic. Let me just focus it a little better. This classic homage to, I think it's Detective Comics 32. It's interesting. The interior art is not Neil Adams. So this book, 227, came back as a 6.5, off-white pages. That's about right. I can see that. That's still a nice book in that grade. 6.5. Again, I've got these as part of a collection, so these are all staying in the PC. It was a collection of Batman, every issue from 150 all the way through 500. So, upper mid-grade. Still, nice book. Don Adams on the back cover. And then the final book is another Bronze Age Batman book. And that is number 232. This is the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. And it does have some, I think, some tanning there. Ryan from Automatic Comics had done a video where he did talk about how they're hitting tanning pretty hard, pretty harshly. And you're going to tend to get that on these older books. And this book is now 51 years old. So 232, first appearance of Ra's al Ghul, came back as a 6.0, off-white to white pages. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing like anything in obvious in terms of like wear on the book. You know, there's a little bit, you know, a soft corner down there, but the spine is pretty clean. You know, it does. You know, I'm a little mystified at some of these 6 grades that, you know, they seem to look better. And again, I didn't really closely look at them before I sent the books out. So let's take a look at values here, and we'll come back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so I went through the FMV of the books, and if you add all of them up, you're talking approximately $7,000. Which for 11 books is nice. Obviously, the biggest win of the bunch is this. This book has come down a little bit. It hit a height of 3,000 right now. And that was earlier this year, like in, I think, September. Right now, I have the fair market value. This is about $1,650. There haven't been any recent sales in a 9.4. It might get a little bit off in its value because it is cream to off-white. But still... this is going to stay in the PC. This is part of my Marvel 72 Keys collection, which is rather dominated by horror books. So that was a win. I looked back at the grader's notes of some of the others, and I can see what they were talking about for the most part. There was foxing on one of the books. And interestingly, the Luke Cage book, which came back as restored, the grader's notes, and I had not seen this previously. It says small amount of color touch. This is in the grader notes. It doesn't say this. It just says on cover. On right top and right bottom. So it'd be there and there. And full left front cover. So I'm going to guess I didn't even pick it up, and maybe I just wasn't savvy enough at the time to look for it. To see if there was color touch. It is what it is. I'm going to just keep this in the PC anyway. So financially, I'm taking a little bit of a loss on it, but you know, maybe we'll upgrade it at some point if I get a nice deal on another copy. The Batman books, yeah, there were little defects with each of them. I didn't have the trained eye to look at the books then, but those are all good books. And if you saw the fair market value that was posted on each of them, they're pretty good. I mean, right there, 14, 15, 20, about $2,500 just in those 5 books, fair market value. That's more than a third of the collection of what I paid for the entire collection. So, and that includes that collection. I have yet to send out the first Silver Age Penguin, the first Silver Age Scarecrow, the first Poison Ivy. All of those books in the 150 to 200 range that are gradable. So a lot of those, and even some of the later books that could have significant value. So on the whole, pretty happy with the submission. So happy to have these books back in hand. And now I can decide what to do with them. I can look at them. I can sort them. I do at some point have to clean up this mess and put a display somewhere. I think I'm going to display probably my DC and Marvel keys from 72. So I got the Swamp Thing back for the DC keys and a couple of Batmans. I think 244 is the only 1972 book. Yeah, 234 is 71 and 251 is 73. But those are big books, and it does allow me to, for instance, the 251, I now have 2 copies. Both at a 6.0, and I can move one of them. I think this one is the better presenting copy because the damage is on the back. The front looks really good. There are only a couple of spine ticks on the front. If you're just going by the front, that book's in the 9s, I would guess. But it does have that big crease on the back. And I think it was the Castle cover that had the foxing, mostly along the spine. So anyway, let me know what you think of these books. I'm going to put a link to one of the links up here to that Batman collection that I picked up. So you can take a look at a couple of other links here. And guys, Merry Christmas. Hope that the holiday treats you right and you get some great comics from Santa. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.